Welcome, welcome, welcome to this week's episode of the Being Podcast, a safe space I have created for us to come together, to share with one another, to empower and encourage each other, and maybe tweak if we need to the ways in which we think about our beliefs. Like, what are we believing in our engagement? How are we engaging in different areas of our lives? How we are being innovative? How are we finding the workarounds or a different way to accomplish our goals? How we navigate? How are we moving? How are we building our villages? How are we building our support? How are we communicating what we need? And how are we gaining? All of these things. How are we gaining to make ourselves better, to empower our babies, to build our communities, all of the things. So that is what I have created this for us to think about how we're believing, engaging, innovating, navigating, and gaining in every area of our lives. I am your host and your girl, Jada, and I'm excited to be with you this week. If you are new, welcome. I hope that introduction kind of explains my vision for this space. And if you are returning, I appreciate you. I always do. I always will. And I just thank you. Thank all of you for being here. So I had started my podcast with the intentions of like having a list of topics. And I've talked about this before, right? Having the list of topics and how I was going to present them out to whoever is able to listen and willing to listen. And being very type A, it just made sense for me to do that. And it has served me well. It has served me to be, as organized as possible, to have a plan because I like to make sure I know where I'm going, right? Risk adverse here for the most part of my life. But I have come to find enjoyment in going with the flow, right? So I want to also point out, though, before I get into this, that whatever you've done in your past, don't look at that as a negative, right? Don't harp on how you did things, how you would change things, what you would do different in the respect of, oh, I wish I didn't do those things. Because guess what? They have made you who you are, they have gotten you to this point. Now, definitely use that reflection to think about, okay, what served me? Great. I want to continue those. What didn't serve me so well, and how do I tweak those, right? So as I move forward to reach the end states that I want in my life, use it for fuel, right? Don't use it to beat yourself up or to be in any kind of a negative mindset. And for most women, we tend to do that. So I am here to tell you we need to all work together to encourage each other not to do that. So I am not ashamed that I like to write out a list, that I like to cross things off. It makes me feel productive. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing things. I do enjoy being in boundaries and knowing, okay, here are the limitations, or let me stay in here because for the most part, I like to live in black and white. I am learning to live in a little bit of gray, right? Just like if you're watching me, yes, I have a little gray on today. I am learning to live in that because not everything is going to go the way we want it to go all the time. It is wonderful to have a plan, but it is also so freeing to be able to just be flexible and to adapt. So, why is Jada telling you all this, right? You're like, what does this have to do with anything? It has to do with this season, me really learning to listen to myself and to listen to that inner voice, right? To understand that, yeah, it's great to have a plan, but it's okay to go with the flow. And that I am not always structuring the topics of my podcast in such a, okay, this is the way it's going to go and da 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 da. So, and it's serving me, and I pray that it is serving you in some way, right? So I am coming to you weekly, sharing real life, like real time situations that I'm dealing with. Whether like a few weeks ago, I was going through it, y'all. If you watched the podcast episode or listened to it, go back and check it out. If you haven't, I was sharing how I felt. I was sharing with being disappointed and being hurt and being frustrated and dealing with things that not anything that was intentionally self-inflicting on my part, but still having to deal with other people and their agendas and how it directly, you know, affected me, impacted me, and then my family. But then how I use that and turned it around to figure out, okay, how do I make this best serve me? So that was that. And then I talked about, being joyful, like appreciating what I have because I had made some steps and some strides to turn that situation around. So this week, because it's been a little crazy the past week or so with work, my 9 to 5, still dealing with being a mom, still dealing with being a wife, still dealing with running my home, starting to take care of myself more. So it was a little crazy in terms of like just being busy, and I had to really do what I often tell y'all to do. Because, like I said, I'm never going to have you do something that I'm not willing to do or that I don't do. So, what did I do? I took a beat, took a breath, paused, and then I decided, okay, how am I going to move this forward? So, in that vein, I am going back to one of my favorite topics, and that is peace. Peace, peace, because it is so crucial, especially at this day and time with everything going on. There's so many distractions, there's so many things that are just coming at us so fast that we are having to deal with, that if we don't create and protect our peace, we will easily, just be swayed to go with whatever is happening at that moment, right? And what I'm really wanting us to all get to is not only understanding our self identity, which is really big this season, but understanding who we are, understanding how do we communicate that to ourselves and to our community and our tribe and our village and all of that, but to also start executing those things, right? Being more consistent. But in all of that, I think one of the building blocks to it is peace and understanding what that looks like for you. So hold on, I had a quick definition that I wanted to share. It was on good old Google, and it said that the definition of peace was the freedom from disturbance. And a few other words that they had for peace was tranquility, calm, and calmness. So, what does that look like for you? I mean, because we're all different. And so when I am coming to you and giving you questions and having you, trying to challenge yourself to think about um who are you? What do you want? What are you trying to get after? Like, what have you put to the wayside? And now asking you, what is peace for you? It's really for you to stop, because all of those titles, all of those things that we are continuously trying to take care of, to manage, to somehow find the balance in all of that for everybody else, we often will put ourselves last. And I don't think it's intentional. I just, by nature, we're caregivers, and that's what happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I believe that we can better serve all of those people and all of those things if we're taking care of ourselves, right? So, whether that is our mindset, which of course is another topic I love to talk about, whether it is our physical bodies, right? Because I'm getting into making time to work out at least 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. I take the weekends because I run around enough with the babies, or your spiritual being, like what in your soul and in your spirit makes you feel good. What are those things? And I believe peace is a part of that, right? So these are all building blocks to be the whole person that you desire to be. And once we are reaching those things that fulfill whatever topic or whatever category that is, and like we're never going to make it completely, because we should always be striving to just be a little better and do a little more, and if that's what you so wish to do, so we're not stagnant. Peace is a part of that. So again, freedom from disturbance. So for me, last week, it was just a busy week, like work wise, it was a really busy week, and I made it a point to say, you know what? I am going to use some of this time that I have earned, and I'm going to go do something for me. So on Wednesday, I went and had some self care done. On Thursday, I went and had some self care done because I knew that in order for me to keep going, to keep pushing, I had to take a reset and like say, stop, let me pour into myself. And I did that and I didn't feel guilty about it. And that's what I really hope that y'all, the point that you get to, like doing things and not so much in like a selfish, like, ooh, look at me, I'm doing everything for me, but in a selfish way of like, I am taking care of myself because when I am able and willing to take care of me, I can take care of everyone else that's counting on me. But if we don't know what that looks like, so for Jada, that's massages. For Jada, that's facials. For Jada, that's, those are the things that just help me to like take a pause and I know that I'm pouring back into myself. But for you, it could be, I don't know, maybe you need to go run or prepare for a 5K, or maybe for you, it looks like you're hiking, or maybe it's like, I really want to do this, y'all. I came in like I'm telling y'all a secret a little bit. I want to get to where I can have a staycation like by myself. Like I want to go to a hotel on a Friday, like drop my babies off at school and daycare on Friday and know that they're going to be picked up and taken care of, and go spend the weekend by myself in a nice hotel, just me, where I can decompress, where I can do some grieving that I still know I need to do. So I can not have, my name called every 10 minutes, which majority of the time I definitely love that. But for me, I know for me to recharge, that is ultimately a goal that I'm striving for, because I feel that that will allow me to pour into myself and to be better, a better mom, a better wife, a better friend, all of that, because I'm taking time to stop and reflect. Because during the week and during, like I don't have that time to do that. That's not my luxury. But I am, and that is not a complaint, because I love being a mom. I love being a wife. I love being, employed. I love all of those things. I love coming and spending time with you all every week to pour into you as much as I can. But I know what burnout feels like. I know what being overwhelmed looks like. I know that that does not serve me and it doesn't serve anybody else. So now I'm trying to make sure that I am incorporating the things that are going to allow me to continue to thrive, right? Because that's really the ultimate goal, thriving. So, peace, you know, freedom from disturbance, tranquility, the calmness. Like, what are those things that will bring that for you? What does that look like? What does that possibly smell like? I mean, are you like in a bubble bath? Are you, you know, going and eating something? Like maybe you go to a restaurant. Maybe it's being at a movie theater. Like, what does that look like? What does that smell like? What does that feel like? Like when you envision that, can you sense that? So, you know, I also say that with peace, it comes with protecting it, and really boundaries plays into that, right? So going back to Jada's black and white, I like to keep it black and white, but no, boundaries in terms of like, what do you stand for? What are deal breakers for you? What are your must haves? Right? Those are things that I don't think we make or take the time to think about. So when things come at us, we're just always reacting, right? We're just trying to figure it out, solve it in that moment. But how do we get to where we're more proactive? Because life is going to happen, things are going to come. So when we have these moments to like really be intentional, to stop and think about these things now, like I often say, like we prepare for war before we're in war, right? You don't want to be in the middle of the battle and you're like, oh crap, what weapon do I need? No, we want to be thinking about these things now. Maybe peace is going and just immersing yourself with music and meditation and all of those things, so that when the conflicts do arise, you know where you can go to get your calm. You know where you can go to reset yourself. You know what you need to do to take that breath and take that pause, and don't allow anyone or anything else to get you out of who you are, right? So as we continue to fill up our cups and our vats and all those things, this is a piece of it. What are our boundaries? And then knowing them, communicating them, and enforcing them. Because people are going to try you. Like it's going to come, right? And then being okay with saying, no, this is my deal breaker. No, for Jada on Fridays, I'm going to do something, or Thursdays, or whatever day of the week, but usually toward the end of the week, I'm doing something for me. So if someone needs something from me, it needs to be around these times because I'm blocking that for me because I need that in order for me to continue to thrive in the way that I want to thrive. I tell people, like, even my 6 year old, like, you ain't gonna talk crazy to me. I don't know who you're listening to, who you're hanging around with. Yes, I will treat you with respect. We can have a wonderful relationship, but I am not your little friend and you're not going to talk to me any kind of way. So when she be feeling herself a little more than she needs to, I'm like, when you're done doing that, you come and you talk to me. Plain and simple. And we don't have to be mean about it. We don't have to be rude about it. We just have to know that what we stand for, what we don't stand for, and we just let that be known and then we don't waver on it. So peace is so crucial. And I just want you to take this week to think about that. Like truly think about it and then share it with me. I would love to know, like, what does peace look like for you? Because we're all so beautifully made. We are all wonderfully created, and we've been given different gifts and talents. And so, I have a great friend that's an artist. Like, she's amazing. And that is probably a way for her to escape. And she's giving back, and she's able to, find that peace within that. And joy and happiness, I'm sure, as she's sharing that and sharing her gift. I have friends that love to run. That ain't my spirit, but hey, whatever works for them, right? So they're getting their runs on and they are having their endorphins just overflowing and just feeling everything. And that's wonderful because guess what? Then they're showing up and they're like, oh, I'm good. I'm ready to go. And they are ready to jump back into the I want to say fight, but they're ready to jump back into life, and they are motivated and they are inspiring and they are, pouring into other people. And that's where we all need to be. So what is that makes you feel at peace? Maybe it's a routine. Maybe it's a matter of knowing exactly, like, from this time to this time I'm doing this, from this time to this time I'm doing that. That can create peace. So these are just some examples, some ideas. Like I said, for me, I don't be thinking I'm bougie, but I mean, for me, it is. It's taking that time to literally get tension released out of my body, right? But I will also share this with you, and I'm not going to hold you up too much longer, but I have recently become a body coach, which was part of Beachbody. And I love doing this now, right? And I'm really getting into where I'm wanting to share this. And at first, I wanted to do this after I had Olivia, and yeah, my mind was not ready. And so then here recently, I have decided to jump back in, and I love the community. I love the products. I love the convenience of the workouts. But more importantly, I love how they can take something and it fits what I need, right? So, do I want to go work out for an hour? Absolutely not. But do I love that I can go work out for 30 minutes and that is time that I carve out for me that helps my mind? It is helping my body and it's setting an example for my babies. Absolutely, and it's making me a better person. And we do these challenges and they're fun. If you want to know, please let me know. I'll give you information about it, because being part of that community, it just really inspires you to get after it, right? Because we are not meant to be just alone trying to figure out life. So that is just one of the many pieces that I do to make sure that my mental, my mindset is staying clear and sharp, and, for my body physically, and then, like, even for my spirit, man, because I'm like, okay, I'm getting after those things that are going to not only make me better for myself, but they make me more, I have more endurance for my babies, because they don't care. And if you have babies, you know this. They don't care if your knees hurt. They don't care if your foot hurts. They want to play and they don't want mama being burned out. But it also just helps us to reach our goals when we are in community, when we are with like-minded people, when we are just sharing and encouraging each other. And so find whatever creates the peace that you need so that you can continue to do all the things that you've been called to do. So with that, I will drop the different ways that you can contact me in the show notes. please share with me what you do or what you're thinking about that creates peace for you. And I bet you're not alone in whatever, that is. And I'm always in for learning something new. And I would love to see if you have something that I haven't thought of that I can incorporate into like all of the things that I do, right? Because that's what it's about, sharing, growing, and reaching those goals and desires and dreams that we have. All right. So find your peace, whatever that looks like. And it doesn't have to be one thing, right? It can be a number of things, but find what that is for you and then protect it, protect it, protect it. Okay. Because you will start to think that you want to do something and you may even put it in place, share it with somebody so that they can help hold you accountable to it. And then something's going to come and try to just, nope, that's not what you really wanted to do. You're not really serious about that. It's going to come, but you have to just protect it so that you stay where you want to be and where you desire to be and probably where you've been called to be. So, with that, I'm going to get out of here. As always, again, if you're new, welcome. For all of you that keep riding with me, thank you. And keep sharing with me what is resonating with you, what you want to hear about, because I too get discouraged from time to time. But when I hear that from you, it just encourages me to continue to push on and to do the things that I know I've been called to do. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Get after it. Continue figuring out who you are, how to find your voice, how to continue to execute, and how to find that peace, right? We are going to become well rounded in this year of 2023. All right. I will see you next week if you're watching, or if I'm in your ear, I will be back then. All right, y'all. Bye.